Story Campus Capers, a night of hilarity and hijinks. The sun had just dipped below the horizon, painting the sky over Westerfield University with a tapestry of purples and golds. Oak Street, the heart of evening mischief and merriment, was beginning to pulsate with life. It was the first Friday of the semester, and the legendary Oak Street Roundup was commencing, a rite of passage for students who thirsted for adventure, or perhaps simply the cheapest shots on campus. Tom adjusted his mismatched sneakers and straightened his vintage blazer, a relic he claimed was once worn by a famous comedian, though no one could ever verify. In his pocket, he had a list, handwritten on the back of a theater program, charting the quickest route from pub to pub. "All right, Miss Greens," he announced with an elaborate wave of his hand. "Are we ready to create immortal legends?" Sarah, fanning herself with a paperback crime novel, raised an eyebrow. Immortality usually demands a sacrifice. Are our livers up to it? "Our livers shall persevere," Jamal said, adjusting his thick-rimmed glasses, which stubbornly refused to perch properly on his nose. "For we are fueled by the power of comedy." Emily, ever the pragmatist, seized the moment. "If Jamal's on board, we're all safe. Statistically speaking, engineers never really lose their way." "The way to enlightenment is paved with laughter," Kevin concluded, nodding sagely, though humor danced in his eyes. With spirits high and a collective sense of bravado, the group surged into the night, their laughter mingling with the ambient chatter of students who thronged Oak Street. First stop, the Raucous Rooster. The Raucous Rooster was the quintessential starting point, its neon sign depicting a rooster mid-crow. Inside, the atmosphere was already vibrant, blaring with a mix of pop anthems and the clinking of drinks. No sooner had they entered than Kevin was swooped away by a pair of psychology classmates, eager to dissect the night's potential for social observation. "Remember, Kevin," Tom called after him, "no Freud until the sun's up." Sarah sidled up to the bar, engaging a bespectacled bartender in conversation about the best book to read while imbibing. Meanwhile, Jamal was irresistibly drawn to a mechanical bull in a corner alcove, a recent addition courtesy of the most recent student council. 6 seconds, Emily quipped, surveying the bull. 2 engineer units equal 1 cowboy bravery. Story. Jamal shrugged off the challenge, securing his glasses with determination. With a comically serious expression, he mounted the bull, immediately drawing a small crowd of onlookers. As the bull lurched into motion, Jamal's deadpan face cracked into a grin, the incongruity of his academic persona against the rugged cowboy ideal, sending the room into fits of laughter. Tom slipped through the crowd, charisma emanating from his every gesture. At the bull's inevitable stop and Jamal's inevitable tumble, Tom leapt onto a table, delivering exaggerated commentary to award the fallen engineer an honorary rodeo title. The impromptu gathering applauded enthusiastically, some tossing beer-stained napkins like confetti. Second stop, the Golden Note Karaoke Bar. Tumbling up the street with their assembled following, the group made their way to the Golden Note, Oak Street's famous karaoke haunt. The place was a sensory explosion of discordant melodies, each singer's tone-deaf attempts adding charm rather than detracting from the experience. Sarah unexpectedly seized the initiative here. "I've got something perfect," she whispered, a playful gleam in her eyes, before slipping away to confer with the DJ. Before long, the familiar strains of a classic 80s ballad filled the room, a recognizable anthem of hopelessly devoted love. Sarah mounted the stage with a mixture of poise and mischievousness. The audience quieted, anticipating a sincere performance, only for her to launch into a hilarious parody of the song, cleverly rewriting the lyrics to lament her ongoing love-hate relationship with the campus library. The performance skyrocketed from unexpected to legendary when Tom joined her on stage, riffing as her comedic suitor, serenading with mock tragedy over Sarah's bibliophilia. By the end of the song, their parody had the entire bar either hooting in laughter or commentating on whether the duo might have missed their true calling. Jamal, watching from the sidelines, took advantage of the comedic distraction. He retrieved a song request slip of his own, ensuring the next act was a heavy metal rendition of a children's novelty tune. As the ungainly medley erupted through the speakers, Emily and Kevin leapt into a playful air guitar battle, spiraling into slapstick antics as they mimicked exaggerated rock star poses, drawing both raucous laughter and enthusiastic cheers from the karaoke audience. Third stop, the Flickering Candle Pub. By now, they had gathered a motley crew of fellow wanderers, students enchanted by the group's peculiar magnetism. The Flickering Candle, an ancient pub with reputed ties to the university's founding days, was next on the agenda. Its dimly lit interior and walls adorned with dusty memorabilia provided the perfect backdrop for convivial mischief. As they settled into an oversized booth, Sarah noticed a sign advertising a trivia night and impulsively signed them up, much to the delight and horror of her friends. "It's been too long since we tested our collective IQ against random pub knowledge," Emily declared, twirling a cocktail umbrella. The quizmaster, a burly gentleman with a booming voice, welcomed team laughter to the fray. Round one started innocuously enough, with questions on pop culture and campus history, although their coherence as a team ebbed and flowed with their sobriety. Kevin delighted in providing increasingly bizarre answers with a straight face, persuading some in the room that tapers were indeed naturally fluorescent creatures. Jamal took charge of the science questions, often throwing in a humorous commentary about the state of modern theoretical physics. As the questions grew more absurd, Sarah's penchant for literature shone through, helping her twist nonsensical logic puzzles to their advantage. Tom dedicated himself to providing entertaining wrong answers, ensuring their guesswork was as memorable as it was inaccurate. Emily, equal parts competitive and sardonic, skillfully negotiated for bonus points by weaving in fictional trivia about Westerfield University's illustrious alumni, culminating in a breathless narrative about a supposed inventor of a bubblegum formula that caused irrevocable telepathy. By the end of the contest, they hadn't won, but their infectious humor and audacity had left them befriending other teams who cheered their audacious, though often incorrect, responses. Final stop before midnight, the Laughter Lounge. The night was ebbing towards its anticipated climax. Their performance at the Laughter Lounge, where the anticipation of their arrival had already stirred the crowd. Tales of their exploits echoed through Oak Street, creating a buzz that only intensified their collective determination. The Laughter Lounge, entrenched in the campus culture as much as the university itself, was a hidden gem known for both fledgling and established comedic talents. Its dimly lit, intimate atmosphere buzzed with conversation punctuated by sporadic bursts of laughter. Tom, Sarah, Jamal, Emily, and Kevin assembled just outside the entrance, their usual banter tinged with anticipation. It was a moment of camaraderie. No matter what unfolded inside, they had already created an unforgettable night. Inside, the place was packed, a testament to either word of mouth or the irrepressible allure of chaotic comedy. As the group took the stage, the tension transformed into a thrilling crescendo. Story Tom opened with improvised anecdotes from their night, his wit sharp and timing impeccable. His spontaneous banter seamlessly transitioned into Sarah's segment, who captivated the crowd with cleverly crafted literary puns interwoven with tales of campus adventures. Jamal brought a fresh burst of energy with his signature slapstick humor, combining absurd physical comedy routines with a deadpan delivery that kept the audience in stitches. Emily followed with her caustic yet endearing sarcasm, offering pointed observations about the absurdities of university life and the quirks of their cohort. Finally, Kevin rounded off their set with an amusing exploration of their adventure through the lens of psychology, offering hilarious pseudo-analyses of each friend's behavior and the peculiar social dynamics of the evening. As their set concluded, the room erupted into applause and cheers, the crowd revitalized by a performance that showcased not just comedy, but the palpable chemistry and warmth of friendship. Wrapped in the glow of their shared triumph, the group ambled back onto Oak Street, the night wrapping them in a sense of unity and accomplishment. If legends were born from such nights, whispered through corridors and common rooms long before the hangovers faded, then surely theirs had taken root. The group dispersed into the early hours, with promises to relive and expand upon the night's tales over breakfast. As Tom looked back at the street, now quieting in the approach of dawn, he mused to himself. Nights like these weren't just about laughs. They were the mortar that solidified friendships, turning ordinary moments into cherished memories. They'd always retell the story of their night of hilarity and hijinks at Westerfield University, a tale replete with unreplicable chaos, humor, and the undeniable truth that sometimes the best times are the ones least expected, shared amongst friends who know the value of a good joke and even better company.